The Carolina Panthers traded Diontae Johnson to the Ravens. The deal consisted of Diontae Johnson and a 6th-round pick going to the Ravens, a 5th-round pick coming back to the Panthers. Now, Nick Corte is a Over the Cap contributor. Over the Cap is a website online that handles, you would have guessed it, salary cap and contracts and everything around the NFL. He does NFL contract analysis. The Ravens' 5th rounder is currently, this according to Nick Corte, currently around 158, and the Panthers' 6th rounder, their first in line as it stands right now, is currently around 177. So they traded Diontae Johnson for about 19 spots in order to acquire Diontae Johnson.
And the Panthers are also paying nearly $3 million of Diontae Johnson's salary the rest of the year. Ravens, I think, are going to owe him about $625,000 the rest of the year. This is according to a couple of different sources, including Joe Person of The Athletic, as well as
now
Jeff Rizerbeck. Zierbike, who covers the Ravens for The Athletic.
Shout out to Jeff R.
It's a Z. Zierbike.
Oh, Jeff.
Him
Z.
too.
It's a bad trade. Okay? If you want all the full reasons, we broke down at the top of the show. I'm sure it'll be up on YouTube shortly.
It's already up.
It's already up on YouTube, so you can break all that down on why it is a bad trade. And we'll revisit it throughout the show. Now there's no wiggle room on the next conversation. It is no longer a question of opinion. It is a fact. Bryce Young has to be your starting quarterback moving forward. The correct decision is to play Bryce Young at quarterback for the Panthers. Andy Dalton might give you the best chance to win. You're not making decisions to win right now. You don't give up Diontae Johnson for 19 picks of movement on day 3 of the NFL draft. 19, I think that's optimistic. I think it's probably 15. Moving up 15 picks on day 3 of the NFL draft. You don't give up Diontae Johnson for that if you're worried about winning. I don't care that Andy Dalton gives you the best chance to win right now. Andy Dalton giving you the best chance to win and $8, that'll get you a coffee somewhere, I'm sure. Right now, go get the number 1 overall pick. Look what the Bears did with their number 1 overall pick a couple years ago. They found the sucker at the negotiation market, the Panthers, and changed their entire trajectory around. Go get that number 1 pick. Don't worry about winning. And if somehow, some way, somewhere along the way, you can save some value with Bryce Young, bonus. The Bryce Young I saw over the weekend, was he good? No. Was he so bad that you can't evaluate the rest of the roster? Also no. Oh, you don't want to lose the locker room by playing Bryce Young. Dave Canales, don't lose the locker room. That's on you. Be a coach. Keep them together. Talk to them. Give them a speech. Rile them up. Motivate them. I asked this weeks ago, and I'll ask, give me one good reason why Andy Dalton should start. After today, the reasons are gone. The reasons are no longer in existence. Go get the number 1 overall pick, and hopefully, fingers crossed, somebody will do what you did for the Bears and you will overpay for it. And if not, take the best player available, because those are the players, top of the draft, best available. Nailing those picks are the ones that accelerate a rebuild. Not 5th and 6th round pick swaps. It's no longer up for debate. It is Bryce Young's job. But guess what? Like, it's interesting. I just saw this, right? Because part of it is then they'd have to turn around and trade Bryce, right? If you don't like Bryce, which they don't, you can tell by their body language. If you don't like Bryce, you want to play him so he builds a little value so you can trade him and get actually something back in return. But guess what is the problem with that now? I don't trust this front office to get anything of value fairly back from the market. Jordan Schultz, NFL insider. sources, despite teams calling about them, the Panthers have no plans on trading cornerback J.C. Horn or running back Chuba Hubbard. Jordan Schultz's source says they're not having a fire sale. If you would have asked me 3 hours ago, should they sell Chuba Hubbard, I would have said yes. You ask me right now, I go probably not. Because if you can't trust yourself to get a fair return on the people you trade away, you probably shouldn't trade them away. I was gung-ho on selling Diontae Johnson. Now I have to be gung-ho against the deal you made because you got a 6th to 5th round pick swap with a team that is expected to be a Super Bowl contender, and you might be picking 1st overall. That's where it stands. Don't sell Chuba. Again, 3 hours ago, yeah, find a contender that needs a running back, sell Chuba. Heck, you could even give him the wink, wink, nod, nod and say this offseason we'll come get you in free agency. Like whatever you want to do. Now, don't try to get fancy. Don't try to go into that market and say we got a J.C. Horn and we want to sell him because you're going to come back from that market. Like how the heck did I just get a high five and a 7th round pick and they walked away with J.C. Horn? You can't convince me. Can't. 0% convince me that you called the wide receiver needy teams and said, we're about to give up Diontae Johnson for a 15-pick difference on day 3 of the draft. Can you do better than that? Because one of them would have. One of them would. I don't even think the Ravens really want this deal. You look at the Ravens, they got Zay Flowers, they have Mark Andrews, they have Isaiah Likely, they have Derrick Henry, they have some running backs coming back off IR. Keaton Mitchell last year was electric. They have Lamar Jackson who can get it done by himself. They have Rashad Bateman who's been emerging over the last 3 weeks. I just think they couldn't pass up a deal. They said, we only got 2 rooms that need a TV. We have 2 TVs, but if you're selling one for $4, yeah. I don't know, I'll put one in the bathroom. So building up the value, part of the reason I think you should have been playing Bryce Young the last few weeks is to build up the value in a trade. Now I think you just build it up to get undercut in the market because you can't negotiate anyway. It is a rough spot right now. It is a rough spot right now.